So by a show of hands, really quickly, how many guests we got in the room? Awesome. Wow. Another hand. I want to ask all the guests a quick favor. I know I'm in the Beltway, and I know somebody has dragged you to a hotel meeting before. Someone has tried to confuse you and draw a bunch of circles on the board and say, if you get 3, and you get 9, and you get 27, and you get 81, we all make $1 gazillion, and you said, yeah, right. Somebody tried to tell you about electricity. Somebody try to tell you about some legal services. Somebody try to tell you about a phone company. I know what's dominated in the Beltway here. I'm from your backyard. Here's what I'm going to ask all of you. If I could ask all of you to eliminate anything that you know about network marketing right now, and I want you to eat a little slice of humble pie for the next 20 minutes. Is that fair? Yes. I want you all to put your business hat on. I want you all to put your business hat on, and I want you to leave your emotions outside. Because I learned a long time ago in business, when you mix emotions with business, you lose money. When you mix emotions with business, you lose money. So I need you all to leave your emotions outside, and on the count of 3, I want you all to put your business hat on. Is that fair? Yes. Okay, on the count of 3, I just want everybody to go like this. Shh. I said on 3. Y'all are fast. I must be in Maryland. 1, 2, 3. Shh. Everybody got their business hat on? Let's rock and roll. And we're going to learn about a little company called Jeunesse. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that when I first got introduced to Jeunesse, I couldn't spell it either. I couldn't pronounce it either. I called it Jeunesse. So it's okay that you're looking at the screen right now and you say, what is that? Jeunesse, Jeunesse, I'm just going to call it J. It's Jeunesse, okay? And we're going to talk about why this opportunity is so profound. But I want to start off by asking you a couple of quick questions. Number 1, have you ever wondered what it would feel like to have your mortgage payment, your power bill, your groceries, the kids' college tuition, your water bill, all of those things paid up on the first of the month and you still had 30 days left?
Always wondering.
You ever wonder what it would feel like to wake up in the morning to an electric rooster called an alarm clock, look at it, and just smash it with a hammer because you don't have to listen to it anymore? You ever wonder what that would feel like?
Yeah.
You ever wonder what it would feel like to walk into your boss's office and say, Jamie, it's been wonderful. You're fired. You ever wonder what that would feel like? If you've never wondered what that would feel like, you deserve to absorb that for about 20 to 30 seconds. And here's the reason why I always start off with that. Because as we grow up, we tend to forget. We get caught up in someone else's dream called a job. And we forget what we wanted to be when we grew up. We think that it's not possible. I'm too old. I'm not sexy enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't know enough people. I don't know anybody who has a face. All these other different things that we forget what we really, really want to be. And I want you to step into dreamland with me for a second, because my promise to you this evening is really, really simple. If you pay attention to what we're saying and you absorb it, what I just stated to you will not be a dream. It could truly become your reality. So who am I? Why should you listen to me again? I've been lucky enough to be in this industry for about 17 years. When I was first introduced to network marketing, I got dragged to a hotel meeting just like some of y'all. 17 years ago, I'll never forget it. It was the Holiday Inn on Midlothian Turnpike in Richmond. Never forget it. Got dragged to a hotel meeting for a company called Excel Communications. Anybody ever heard of them? They started drawing a bunch of circles on the board, and they said, if you get 3 and you get 9 and you get 27 and you get 81, we'll all make $1 gazillion. And I said, yeah, right. I wasn't very good at geometry. That was one of the main classes that I skipped in high school. But I was excellent at addition, as the guy that was doing the presentation was making $65,000 a month. Everybody say, ooh. That's a lot of money 17 years ago. How many of y'all would fire your boss today if you were making $65,000? You would wake up and say, man, I ain't going nowhere. That's $18,000 plus a week. That's a lot of money, okay? That caught my attention. I got bit with the network marketing bug. My life hasn't been the same since. I've been lucky enough to be inducted into the Internet Marketing Hall of Fame. Don't ask me how. It's just from some lucky things that we've done over the internet over the past few years. I own a couple of different internet marketing companies. I co-authored a book featuring Deepak Chopra, Jack Canfield, and Dr. Dennis Waitley. I was lucky enough to share the stage with Jim Rohn before he passed, people like Mark Victor Hansen, Jerry Clark, Jeffrey Combs, just to name a few. And I'm currently the #1 recruiter in all of Jeunesse out of 500,000 distributors. But I don't say that. I don't say that to toot my horn. saying that for a hand clap. Because the truth of the matter is, it didn't all start that way. It actually started very humbly in that home that you see right there on the screen. You know, I tell people all the time that you become the top 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if the top 5 people that you spend the most time with eat Twinkies and bonbons all day long, there's a good chance you're going to become number 6. If the top 5 people that you spend all day long with go to the gym 5 days a week, there's a good chance you're going to adopt that habit and do the same. If the top 5 people that you spend the most time with are knuckleheads, there's a good chance you're going to become number 6. When I grew up from the ages of 12 to 18 years old in that humble home right there, the top 5 people that I spent the most time with were knuckleheads. So I became number 6. And I realized at a very young age that I needed a mentor. You know, my father taught me, he said, Cedrick, whatever you want to be, you can be. All you got to do is find somebody that's doing what you want to do and just do what they do. It is no brain surgery. So many people think that becoming a millionaire is hard, and it actually isn't. It's extremely simple. It's so simple it will scare you. It's so simple that we as human beings, we complicate it. All you got to do is find somebody that has what you want and do exactly what they do and hang on to them like a tick on a dog's heel. And that's exactly what I did back when I was introduced to the mortgage industry. How many people in this room have a mortgage or real estate background? Awesome. My mentor, his name is Bill Edwards. He's still my mentor to this day. In 2001, after dabbling in the lovely network marketing industry, I answered an ad that changed my life forever. It said that this would be the last job you would ever take in your life. How many of y'all ever read those types of ads? I answered it. I thought it was a Kirby vacuum cleaner job or something. I showed up and they started talking about mortgages. Cedrick, we do VA loans. We actually just go to people's homes and you run this telemarketing lead or direct mail lead and they have to make a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 decision in 45 minutes. If you don't sell, you don't eat. Awesome, sign me up, I'm in. That's exactly what I did, okay? In a very short period of time, I became the number 2 loan officer in the whole country. The owner thought it was a fluke, so he sent me to different states because Virginia is the 2nd largest state populated for veterans. And all we did were VA loans. And he said, there's no way he's selling off. Send him somewhere else. Let's see if he can do it in Pennsylvania. They're pretty tough out there. Did it in PA. They sent me to North Carolina, did it in North Carolina. Sent me to California, did it in California. Gave me a phone call, Cedrick, congratulations. Congratulations on what? You're the new manager of our Detroit, Michigan office. Awesome, when do I leave? When do I leave? Tomorrow. When somebody that's worth $900 million tells you leave tomorrow, guess when you leave? Tomorrow. And that's exactly what I did. I left. And I moved to Michigan. Okay, and that following year I made a little under $400,000. I thought the sky was going to part. Then the next year they moved me back to Richmond to cover this office. And that office did $1.1 billion in funded mortgages out of the door. I became a millionaire at 27 years old, and I tell you what, I thought everything was going to change. You know what changed? More friends, new relatives. The family goes from asking for $20 and say, you know, I saw this house. I was wondering if you could get the down payment for me. After having a lot of momentum inside of Richmond, they moved me to Florida to be the president of marketing for the entire company. It was awesome. When I got there, I was light-skinned. Hung out on the beach a little while, enjoyed myself, suntan. Then all of a sudden, everything stopped. Y'all remember? Y'all remember back when you could buy a house at 9 o'clock and you sold it at 9:15? Y'all remember back when the Springfield and Manassas and all this whole area was just on steroids? You were selling condos for $300,000 in 20 minutes. It was wonderful. Everything stopped. Anybody ever seen the movie The Titanic? You ever notice how when the ship is going down, the band is still playing? That's a metaphor for a lot of people's life. I saw this happening and I said, I am not staying on this boat. I've got to go reinvent myself. But I was psychologically unemployable. How many of y'all in this room have the same problem? I got a problem with people telling me what to do. I got a problem with people coming in my room. I don't even let them clean my room. Now, I don't know you. Stop. Hey, stop. Don't come here. I got a problem with people telling me what to do. So someone telling me when to go to work, when to leave, when to go to lunch, how did they know I was hungry at 12 o'clock? Psychologically unemployable, so I reinvented myself in this industry and started producing different products like the 10K per month, the Traction Marketing Blueprint, and how to close anyone, anywhere, anytime. Started propelling myself to the top of different companies and really capitalizing on it. And because of this industry, it's allowed me to do some things all over the world and really see places that I never thought that I would see, hang out and do things with my family I never thought were possible, go out and get toys that I never thought were possible, go swimming with sharks, do crazy things that I never thought I would ever do, meet my future ex-wife. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not really. No. I'm kidding. I know I'm being recorded. My fiance. Every time I say that. Hang out with people like Roy Jones, all that good stuff, but only because network marketing equals freedom when you catch it at the right time. You see, everything's about timing. Everything's about timing. You know, I know people that were buying gold when it was $400 an ounce. Now it's about $1,200. I know people that were buying silver when it was $4 an ounce. Now it's $16. I know people that invested in Apple before it became the richest company in the entire United States of America. Everything is about what?
Timing.
That's what Jeunesse is all about. So who is Jeunesse? First of all, our company got launched on September the 9th, 2009 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9/9/09. When Jeunesse was launched, ladies and gentlemen, it was launched with 5 Asian leaders out of the California market. Those 5 Asian leaders took the marketplace 2 different product lines. The first product line being a product line called Luminous. That's based on adult stem cell research. We're going to talk about that product here momentarily. Skincare line, 6 different product lines, all under one roof. They also launched our #1 international bestseller called Reserve. This is a liquid antioxidant focusing on your immune system, and those 5 Asian leaders exploded through the United States and the Asian community, did a little sprinkling in Canada, and ultimately ended up in Asia. All throughout Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, Vietnam, Hong Kong, all these different provinces in Asia. Now, instead of Wendy and Randy, the owners of Jeunesse, trying to saturate the US and Canada first, like most network marketing companies do that are based here, and then go internationally, they decided to do the complete opposite for 3 different reasons. Number 1, they knew and understood that everything in this world rises and falls on leadership. Number 2, they understood that in Asia, there are no part-time network marketers. They take it extremely seriously. You're either full-time or not in the business. And number 3, they understood that Asia was a gateway to numerous other different countries. So they spent the millions of dollars, jumped through all of the hoops, went through all of the politics to get all of these places legal in Asia. Well, as we fast forward 5 years later today, here's exactly what has happened. It was the best decision that Wendy and Randy could have ever made. Because in year number 1, we did $65 million in revenue. Year number 2, we did $125+ million in revenue. Year number 3, we did $200 million in revenue. Year number 4, we did $257 million in revenue. And year number 5, just last year, we closed out at $419 million in revenue. We've done over $1 billion in sales in the past 5 years, and some of you still can't pronounce our company. It's called Jeunesse. Last month, we had our best month ever that we did a tinge under $80 million in revenue. We are the #1 fastest growing direct selling association company that's on the Inc. 500. That's not up for debate. That's a full-blown fact. We're the #1 MLM growth company in all of network marketing. And our company in the past 3 years has grown by almost 2,000%. Over 1,800%. Now, I know I got my man Ahmed in the front, you know, and I want to put this in stock language. I want to put this in business language. Let's say that you bought a share of stock 3 years ago for $1,100, and it grew by 1,800% in 3 years. that one share would be worth $19,700. Wow. That's the power of 1,800% growth. Now, one of the beauties of Jeunesse is that we have the correct leadership. You know, when I drove out to Orlando, Florida to sit down with Wendy and Randy, first of all, that meant a lot to me because I have to look in the eyes of people who I'm doing business with to make sure that they are who they say they are. And Wendy and Randy are full-blown salt of the earth people. Randy grew up extremely poor. He moved 16 times before he was 18. Graduated high school early, moved out of Tennessee, was the son of a sharecropper, didn't even have a birth certificate. Went to the service, got out of the service, studied a couple of major things in engineering, and was one of the first people to get a contract with NASA to help the very first space shuttle get up into space. His very first commission check was $6 million. Now I want you all to picture this. You grew up poor all of your life. You grew up poor all of your life, and your very first commission check is $6 million. You lose your mind, don't you? I know I did. I thought I needed a car for every day of the week. There's 7 days, I must need 7 cars. Randy didn't go crazy though. He started investing. He met Wendy. They started opening different companies together. Okay, they opened one network marketing company. They started doing the back end for different network marketing companies, and they started doing fulfillment, commission runs, and systems for 17 other different network marketing companies. And they learned the good, the bad, and the ugly from the back end of network marketing. Wendy looked at Randy one day and said, if I ever decide to open up a network marketing company, please shoot me. Because she saw all the bad stuff on the back. Randy looked back at Wendy and said, if I ever decide to start a network marketing company, please shoot me. Well, on September the 9th, 2009 at 9 o'clock, neither one of them had a gun, so they launched Jeunesse. They also launched it with Scott Lewis, Wendy's son. I know, ladies, as you look at that looks like the front page of a GQ magazine. He's just one smooth dude. The cool thing about Scott, I actually speak to him probably every day, if not every other day. He's 35 years young. He's been in this industry since he was 11 years old. And a lot of people tend to say, well, what happens if Wendy and Randy leave? Well, first of all, Wendy and Randy have so much money they don't know what to do with it right now. It's not about the money for them anymore. They're in their early 60s and they're extremely wealthy. Extremely. Everybody in their family is taken care of. This is a legacy play right now, ladies and gentlemen. So when they decide to walk away, which they tried to do 3 times, but they're the type of people that just can't retire. If at some point they decide to walk away, the company is in good hands with Allstate, with Scott. Now, when you have a company that's in so many different countries, you must make sure that you have the infrastructure to cover this. First of all, we just purchased a 160,000 square foot facility in Lake Mary, Florida, to facilitate all of the future growth for Jeunesse. We currently have a 35,000 square foot facility that we've pretty much outgrown. We have hundreds and hundreds of employees all over the world. We have 38 offices on the ground right now. And one of the things that I love about Jeunesse is that you can sit in Maryland and enroll a new distributor in Indonesia. You can sit in Indonesia and enroll a customer in Kenya. You can sit in Kenya and enroll a new distributor in Puerto Rico. You can sit in Puerto Rico and enroll a new customer in South Africa. You can sit in South Africa and enroll a new distributor in the Dominican Republic. You can sit in the Dominican Republic and enroll a new distributor in Japan. You've got 100 plus countries at your disposal. Now some of you might be saying, well, Cedrick, I don't know anybody in Australia. I don't know anybody in Kenya. You know, I get paid from things that I don't do anymore, which is the beauty of residual income. But I built a company years ago, and I signed up a guy in Miami that took this opportunity over to Ecuador. Started building in Ecuador. Ecuador and Colombia started blowing up. Now, every other week or so, I tend to chime into their conference calls just to listen in. Because I don't mess with them. I leave them alone. You know how cool it is to listen to Spanish when you don't understand a word? To get 800 people on the call and you don't know anything that they're saying, but every Friday Wells Fargo understands the language because the checks come in English. See, it doesn't matter who you know. What matters is who they might know. Our business has grown from 0 to 23,000 distributors worldwide in 7 months. Just our team alone. We're the #1 fastest growing team in all of Jeunesse in the U.S. and Canada. We've grown from 0 to $15 million in sales in that time frame. And as a diamond, in my back office, it shows a map. It shows a map and it shows every order and every rep where it's coming from. You know how sexy it is to look at the globe and see people popping up in places. I look down, there's a couple thousand people in Bermuda. The only thing I've ever known about Bermuda was the Bermuda Triangle. I didn't know that there were people there. I looked at the map, it looks like a dot in the middle of the ocean. There's 2,000 plus distributors on our team in Bermuda. I've never been there. I'm never going. You have to fly. I might come up missing. But the beauty of that is that you don't know who's who. You see, most companies, they subject you to the U.S. and Canada. And I can tell you right now, if your business is just subject to the U.S. and Canada, you are in trouble. Because if one of your organizations slows down, who picks up the slack? What other country picks up the slack? I love the Hispanic team that we have. I love the Asian team that we have. I love being up at 4 o'clock in the morning taking calls in Israel. It's crazy, but it's a beautiful thing. So you've got all of these countries at your disposal. Now, let's talk about the products. Anybody in the room ever seen a U-Haul attached to a hearse? One person. Somebody give Brenda a payment. So that means that we can't take any of this stuff with us, right? You know, majority of the time we pay attention to our health when it's too late. You ever notice how in Asia they live to be 627 years old? They're still working. They're still working. It's like, how is that possible? Because they're preventative. They're preventative. A lot of us in the United States, we're reactive. We don't get anything fixed until it hurts. Then the doctor gives us all the stuff, and they keep us on all the stuff, right? So with Jeunesse, we have what we call the Youth Enhancement System. Now, when most people look at Jeunesse, they think we're a skincare company. And we're far from that. Jeunesse means youth in French. We're all about redefining youth, both on the inside of your body as well as the outside of your body. So beginning with the Luminous line, I love this product line. 6 different product lines all under one roof. Whether it be our night cream, our daily serum, our youth enhancement cleanser, which is my favorite, the ultimate lifting mask, the body renewal product, all of these products all under one roof. Now I can be the first one to tell you before Jeunesse, I was never someone who needed special lotion or special soap. I travel so much, a lot of times I have to look at the telephone in the hotel to figure out where I'm at. My fiance is the one that needs special soap and special lotion, and she don't have it, she won't use the hotel soap. Some women are like that, right? Me, they got soap, let's go. They got lotion, let's go. Well, before Jeunesse, since Jeunesse, since November the 14th, I have not put lotion or soap on my face. Some of y'all thought I was ready to see my body. Shame on you. You would have known that when I walked in the room. Now, I love this product line because of what it's actually doing to my skin and the results that I've seen with so many other people, an adult stem cell research product. And the beauty of it is, look around the room really quickly. Just look around the room. Guess what everybody has in common? Yeah. A face! Imagine that. People get involved in Jeunesse and they start over, Cedrick, I don't know who I'm going to talk to. Really? Start off on your phone with the letter A. Does Amanda have a face? Good place to start. Luminous line. Then we have our Reserve product line. This is our #1 international bestseller. It's a resveratrol product. Anybody in the room know what resveratrol is? You actually find it in fine wine. This particular product, Reserve, is the equivalent to you drinking a couple of 100 glasses of Merlot from the resveratrol portion of it. Now, I can't stand in front of the room and give you the testimony of anybody else because the government doesn't allow that. But I can tell you my personal testimony. About 2 months ago, I was traveling so much that I was in 9 different states in 11 days. Every day, one day it's 80 degrees, one day it's 20 degrees, one day it's 100 degrees, one day it's negative 10 degrees. And when I got back to Florida, my body shut down. I caught the flu. I forgot my Reserve. I went to CVS and I got one over-the-counter Mucinex. One. Took the over-the-counter Mucinex and took 5 reserves daily. 5. Tastes like a grape juice. In 48 hours, the flu was gone. From that point forward, I've never forgotten my reserve since that point. I take 2 packets every single day. Finity. How many of y'all in the room know what telomeres are? First of all, if you don't know what telomeres are, they're attached to every single portion of your DNA inside of your body. Every single one of you sitting in this room has a body of millions and millions and millions of telomeres. As you get older, your telomeres, they break off, kind of like the end of a shoelace. Okay, this is where a lot of disease, old age, wrinkles, all that fun stuff comes from. Well, some scientists a few years ago, who actually won a Nobel Peace Prize for this, actually figured out how to scientifically extend your telomeres with an ingredient called TA65. We actually have the exclusive on that ingredient, and once you learn about telomeres, trust and believe you want them extended. This is the only product in 17 years of network marketing that I told my mother that I wanted her to take every single day for the rest of her life. And you know how cool it is to stand in front of the room and say that my telomeres are extending. And y'all don't even know. Some of y'all are too serious in this room. Y'all need to chill out. AM/PM line. This is my favorite. The AM/PM line, first of all, it's a multivitamin. Okay, the AM line, which is geared around your focus and your alertness throughout the day. The PM line, which is geared around helping mellow you out and helping you sleep. So many vitamins, so many minerals, so many nutrients, we had to add an additional label just to show you everything that's involved. Some of y'all have been in the company for 6 months and didn't even know that this label existed. I know people that make 20 grand a month right now that just figured out this label was there last week. They said, Cedrick, I didn't even know that. I said, man, I wish I would have never showed you. You make 20 grand a month, keep it going. Okay? Now, here's the cool thing about the AM/PM line. The AM/PM line was invented by Dr. G.M. Papa, one of the most well-renowned anti-aging specialists in the world. He's actually up for a Nobel Peace Prize, and he was just recently on the Today Show. Now, anybody in the room know somebody who might have an issue with sleeping? Or you might every now and then have an issue with sleeping, okay? So I have to be a product of the product, and I advise you all to be a product of the product. The first night I took the PM line, I knew it was working. Here's how I knew. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I thought I was a rapper. I was on tour with Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel. I was rocking the stage, had a skull cap on, sweatshirt, Rocawear jeans, Timberlands. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm far from a rapper. I said, wow, this stuff is working. I went downstairs, got something to drink, went back to sleep. You ever notice how when you break a dream, the dream stops? Sometimes you love that. Like when you thought Freddy Krueger was killing you, you were glad it was a dream, right? When you get on PM, when you break the dream and go get something to drink or go use the bathroom, when you go back to sleep, the dream continues from the point you stopped. That's when I knew this stuff was working. Okay? We're on it every day. Here's what I will advise you though. You will sleep really, really, really good. How many of y'all are on the PM? Do you sleep good or what? Sleep real good. You sleep really, really, really good. So if you don't want 8 hours of sleep, don't take this. I can't take it every day because I'm up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on a regular basis. If I sleep 8 hours a day, you won't talk to me until 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That product works. Now, let's get back to the skincare line. The skincare line with Luminous was invented by Dr. Nathan Newman. How we came across Dr. Newman was that 5+ years ago, President Obama passed a law to do adult stem cell research. And when he passed that law, Randy, co-founder of Jeunesse, had no cartilage in his left knee. So he went on a search to find the best stem cell doctor out there that could help him out with his knee. He came across Dr. Nathan Newman. He hired Dr. Newman. Dr. Newman started working on his knee. Dr. Newman started telling him about the Luminous line and what it actually did for people after surgeries, started talking about the adult stem cell research portion of it. This intrigued Randy quite a bit. He got his own legal team on it, started checking it out. He got his own doctors on it, started checking it out. Then he finally asked Dr. Newman, he said, how many of these are you selling on a monthly basis? He said, about $40 a month just to my patients. He said, how would you like to sell $40,000 a month? He said, how is that possible? He said, if you give me the formula, I'll show you. So he gave Randy the formula. 5 years later, we sell well over 40,000 bottles a month of Luminance worldwide. And Dr. Nathan Newman's royalty check is close to 8 figures a year. This product, 200 plus growth factors in it. It's an adult stem cell research product. So it's based off of the growth factors of adult stem cells. Now we did some clinicals, and the beauty that I love with these clinicals that we did is that all these clinicals that were done, no one knew that Jeunesse was a network marketing company. No one knew that there was compensation attached to the product. So let's see what happened. 100% of the people that went through this study stated that they would recommend the product to their friends and family. When's the last time you got 100% of the people to agree on anything? 87% felt their skin looked younger. 87% felt an improvement in their skin smoothness and luminosity. And 74% felt an improvement in their skin's firmness. Now, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So let's go over some pictures. Now I'm going to show you some before and afters. I want you to know, first of all, there's no Photoshop, there's no hokey pokey, there's nothing special done to any of these pictures. On the left is the before. On the right is the after. Now I want you to look under her eye. This is 30 days. Anybody see the difference?
Yeah.
Look here. Look here. This is 30 days. Look at her before, after. Look at this one. Most people look at this and say, she must have makeup on. The only difference between those two pictures is that on the second one, she has on lip gloss. Look at that glow in her skin. 30 days. You know anybody with razor bumps? It's hilarious. I have some people ask me from time to time, well, Cedrick, does it work on African Americans? Do they have a face? 5 days. Bumps were gone. 5 days. You know anybody with acne? There's a little company called Proactive that has become $1 billion company just off of what? Acne. You know, I was one of those guys that when I was growing up, my brother always popped his bumps. You know anybody like that?
Yeah.
He kept popping those blackheads, kept popping and popping and popping. My brother is, I'm 39, my brother is 43. Still to this day, I can see where he popped the bumps. You think that affected her self-esteem at all? Dramatic. Look at this one. Look under her eyes. Obviously, she's smiling more over here. Dramatic. Look at under her chin. Are you kidding me? Have y'all seen any of these crazy pictures running around Facebook?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just
a burn.
Yeah, that was a burn. This is just a tip of the iceberg.
Amazing stuff.
Look at Janet Jackson. Not really, but look like her though. Look at the glow. Look at the glow. Okay? And I can attest to this because I know what my skin looked like before. You know, as a matter of fact, I was doing a meeting in Richmond a couple of months ago, and I sent some product to Richmond, to my mother's house, so it was there first, before I got there. My mom went through the box. She started using the product. And she called me, she said, son, this is some good stuff. She was like, I already like the Reserve, because she's on the Reserve already, and she uses the Instantly Ageless, but she's like, this Lumen, I like this stuff. And I said, Mom, that wasn't yours. She was like, it is now. Can't argue with her, right? That's your mom. What are you going to do? She carried you for 9 months. What you going to do? And she reminds me of that. Now, how many of y'all in the room know anybody who wants to get their sexy back for the summer? First of all, the cool thing about Jeunesse, is that when you look at the industry of network marketing in the home-based business arena, 67% of the 6, 7, and 8-figure income earners come from skincare, anti-aging, and health and wellness. 67%. We are a company that has all 3 of those categories all under one roof. So now let's get into the weight loss side. First, it begins with our product called Zen Fit. How many of y'all in the room have had this? Now, what does it taste like?
Delicious.
No. Other than delicious, what does it taste like?
The Jolly Rancher.
Listen, I'm in Maryland. I know y'all know what Jolly Ranchers are. I say that in Idaho, it might be different. In Maryland, this is like drinking watermelon or fruit punch Jolly Rancher. It tastes really, really, really good. It tastes like your mother's Kool-Aid from back in the day. You take it, you mix it with some water, you drink it before a meal or before a workout. Helps to speed up your metabolism. The very first day I tried this product, I drank 5 of them in a day, and I didn't realize until the next day that I didn't eat anything. Now, typically, if I eat once a day, that's normal for me, but I ate nothing. I said, this product freaking works. That's stuff. Now, how many of y'all are familiar with raspberry ketones? How about the green tea leaf extract? How about well trim? How about African mango? All comprised in this product called Zen Shake. This is a standalone product. We could have a company on this product alone. I know of a company right now that has a product like this that's doing $5 million a month off of just this one type of product, and it doesn't even work as good as ours. Okay? This helps curb your appetite in the middle of the day, just in case you want to sneak that Twinkie or sneak that bonbon that you know you're not supposed to be having. Then we have an all-whey protein shake. All whey. No soy, no sucralose, no artificial sweeteners, non-GMO, and gluten-free. Comes in vanilla, comes in chocolate. Now, to complete our full-blown wellness system, you do not have to drink a shake. We have people that are having dramatic results with just the Zen Shake and the Zen Fit. I'll be the first one in front of the room to tell you that in a previous opportunity, we sold $65 million worth of milkshakes, and I never, ever drank one in my life. I've never been a milkshake person. That's just me. I've never been a milkshake person, okay? But I'm a money person. I sell what people buy, right? You know anybody who wants to lose weight? I want you to think about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. What comes on TV? Infomercials, right? One of them, there's an infomercial of a product called Lipoderm. You ever seen it?
Yeah.
20 million pills sold. All you got to do is take this pill. Don't do any workout. Don't change your diet. Just take a pill. Really? The lazy person's way to lose weight. Take a pill. Don't do nothing. Don't walk. Don't eat anything special. Don't get on the scale. Just take this pill. Over 20 million sold. Then 30 minutes later, a P90X commercial shows up. Think about that. So we've got that all under one roof, okay? So we've got the Reserve, liquid antioxidant. We've got the Finity. We've got the AM/PM. But this is the product that got me a little bit excited. This is the product that I was sitting in the audience when they were doing that 2-minute video that a lot of y'all have already seen. And at the end of that demonstration, the product sold out in 6 minutes. You would have thought Tony Robbins was selling CDs in the back of the room. And the televisions that were on the stage at the hotel got crushed. They got crushed because our president was passing out samples and people started running up and they crushed the 50-inch plasma television. It cost us $10,000 at that event. That's when we knew we had something. It cost us an extra 10 grand. Now, why is that such a big deal? Okay, first of all, that product gets rid of wrinkles, bags, and crow's feet and fine lines in 2 minutes. How many minutes? 2. How many minutes? 2. Typically in network marketing, you got to do what I'm doing right now. Stand in front of the room. 9 out of 10 of y'all, 9 out of 10 of y'all would rather me set you on fire right now than do what I'm doing right now. Because the number one fear on the planet is what? Public speaking. How many of y'all have a smartphone? If you have a dumb phone, you should really upgrade. If you wanted to know whether or not you got a dumb phone or not, if it flips open, it's a dumb phone. Okay? Can you all send out a 2-minute video?
Yes.
It's pretty simple, right? Can you all take a product? Can you all take a product and just dab it on somebody's eye?
Yeah.
and step back and let them see the results for themselves. You know, for the holidays, I was in Richmond spending some time with my family. And you know, mothers, they can't lie. You know, my mother could care less about network marketing. The only thing that she likes about network marketing is that I send her $5,000 a month. So trust and believe she loves all of you. But outside of that, she could care less. She could care less. I pulled my mom aside and said, Mom, I need to try something. My mom is 72 years old with very deep bags in her eyes. I applied this product to one of her eyes on purpose and I walked away. I got to the top of the steps and my mother yelled my full-blown government name. She said, Cedrick Bondale Harris, turn around and fix the other side of my face. What is this stuff? This stuff works. What is this stuff? Now my mother has referred 13 customers to me. She's not in the business. You know how cool it is to have your mother's 60, 70-year-old friends call you up and say, your mom told me you called for some of that eye candy stuff. How cool that is? Now some of y'all might be saying, well, Cedrick, you don't have any bags. I don't. I use the Luminous. But I want you to think about this for a second. There's only 3 types of people that look at this video that I'm going to show you. Only 3. You're going to fall into one of the 3 categories. Person number 1 looks at it and says, I got wrinkles. I got bags. I could use that. I have a face. That's person number 1. Person number 2 looks at it and says, I'm 28 years old. I'm 30 years old. I woke up like this. I'm good. I don't need that stuff. That's the second type of person. The third type of person looks at it and says, well, I don't necessarily need it right now, but I know a lot of people who have wrinkles, bags, and crow's feet. Just like the owner of Purina Dog Chow doesn't eat dog food, but he's a billionaire from dog food. You see, I was the third type of person that I looked at and said, hold on for a second. Typically, you got to become a scientist, a biologist. You got to talk about some berry that grew in the Himalayan mountains that's going to help your leg grow back. You got to talk about some ingredient that you knew nothing about before you joined that network marketing company. Why not have a product that gets results in 2 minutes? Because nobody wants to wait for anything anymore. We live in a right now, instant gratification, give it to me now, I don't want to wait society. Society states that 60% of you in the room right now want me to tell you how much it costs to get in and how quick can you get your money back. That's what society states. That's instant gratification. That's instant gratification. We live in such an instant gratification society that you know people that as soon as they got their W-2s, they get a rapid refund on the 3rd week of January. They couldn't wait 4 to 6 weeks for the government to send them their check. They paid an extra $200 to $500 to get it what? Now. We live in such an instant gratification society that somebody in the room had a Hot Pocket for lunch. A Hot Pocket. How long does it take to cook a Hot Pocket? 2 minutes. If I look at your microwave right now, there's still 36 seconds left. You couldn't even wait the 2 minutes. Some of y'all know this to be true. You looked at your lunch, you saw it smoking, you thought it was ready, you opened up the microwave, you took a bite out of it and realized it was still cold in the middle. I always tell people the best invention that was made 50, 60, 70 years ago was a microwave. The worst invention that was made 50, 60, 70 years ago was a microwave. Because everybody wants everything what? Right now. People start a new job, they don't even want to work a week in a hole. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pay me Friday. You know this to be true. You know this to be true. People get involved in network marketing and they say they want to create a residual income, right? But they didn't get a residual in 2 weeks, so it must not work. Don't worry. Show me an insurance agent that was selling insurance for 2 weeks that's still picking up a residual right now. And I'll show you an insurance agent that was selling insurance for 20 years and doesn't have to work a day in his life ever again. Because of what? Residual. Because of putting in that time. But we live in this instant gratification right now society. So since that's the case, why argue it? Give people what they want. Why argue it? You see, you don't have to talk about telomeres, You don't have to talk about telomeres and luminance and talk about reserve. You can have this one simple conversation that, hey Brenda, have you seen the 2-minute video? Yes. Don, have you seen the 2-minute video? Dennis, have you seen the 2-minute video? Jeunesse, have you seen the 2-minute video? What 2-minute video? You got to see this. It's a 2-minute video. Now, how many of you in the room have not seen the 2-minute video? Have not? Awesome. So let's help you out here really quickly. I'm going to play this real quick. For those of you that have seen this 10 million times, it's okay. Bear with us. And please excuse the volume. All right, here we go. Now watch this. I apologize for the volume.
It's have a very, very thin layer. I'm just tapping a very thin layer on her skin, but you want to leave it about 10 or 15% damp on the skin. Do not rub it all the way in because the product works as it's drying, so you want it to allow it to do this.
Yeah, I'm going to start a timer. I can't see that. You haven't seen anything yet.
Can you instantly age us before or after your makeup? First of all, you want to do all your preventative maintenance and all the good stuff first.
What do you see?
Okay, I don't know about you, but when I first saw that, because I was sitting in the audience at the same time, I got a little hot and bothered. I got a little hot and bothered because I could not ignore what I saw with my own eyes. How many of y'all, see, we live in a different lane of magicians right now, but I've got a lot of people that are in my bracket in here. How many of y'all remember David Copperfield? Remember David Copperfield, right? We've got the new Vegas guy now, right? But let's see, if you were looking at television right now and you saw David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear, you would look and say, that's an illusion, right? If you were fishing in the New York Harbor and you were locked in on an 8-pound largemouth bass and you looked up and you saw the Statue of Liberty, poof, disappear right in front of your eyes, you would say, David Copperfield is a bad dude. Because you saw it with your own eyes, right?
Right.
That's why I love this product. People can't deny their own eyes. It's their results that they were seeing. You see, when my mother yelled my full-blown government name, that was her eyeball she saw, not mine. And she didn't want to walk around the rest of the day looking like One-Eye Willie. So she was like, you got to fix the other side. Even my father came in and was like, yeah, baby. Yeah. My daddy pulled me to the side and said, make sure you leave a couple extra boxes. I got you covered. Now I'm going to show y'all some before and afters here. These are random pictures. A lot of them are our distributors. But above you see the before. This one is not that good because she didn't pull up. Hold on, let me scroll through a couple of them. All right. How many of y'all have seen this video? Okay. Y'all remember Martin? Jerome! Okay, that's Jerome. Jerome's video, I think his video has gotten more views than Justin Bieber's baby video. Because this thing is going viral. One of the reasons it's going viral is because everybody keeps seeing women. Okay, first of all, he's a man for number one. And number two, he did a video and you watch that deep wrinkle disappear in a couple of minutes. That video went viral. Everybody is copying this video and put it on their own pages. It's crazy. Look at Sandy. Before, after. Are you kidding me? You see that dramatic difference? Look at that. Before, after. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Cedrick doesn't work on men. Do they have a face? Is it me or do y'all see these results? Look at these results. I'm just going to start blowing through them. Look. Okay, her picture is going around so much that she's looking for royalties right now. Look at that. Look how dramatic that is. It's crazy. Okay. This one is the reason why you never, ever, ever do a live demo in the middle of a presentation. We did this in Canada. And the bad thing about this picture is that we did this in the middle of a presentation. And it disrupted the entire room. Everybody had to whip out their camera phone. Everybody had to take a picture and do a video with it. Everybody had to put it on their YouTube page, their Facebook page, their Instagram. Disrupted the whole meeting. So if you want to do demos, do them after the fact. In case you were wondering, no, it doesn't work on boxers. Some of y'all will get that one later. That's a after before. You had that delayed reaction. I learned that from Kevin Hart. On the left, on the left, on the right. Look how dramatic it is. I mean, we've got before and afters for days and days and days. Days and days and days. So the power, ladies and gentlemen, is, does the product work? Absolutely. 2-minute results. It's going to work 6 to 8 hours. One box will last about 30 days. Depending upon how much they're using, it might last a little bit more. Whether it's wrinkles, bags, crow's feet, fine lines. Look at this one. Are you kidding me? Look at her eye there. Like, how could she stop using this now? I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm serious. I'm serious. Once you start getting these type of results, ladies and gentlemen, and you wipe 10 years off of someone's face in 2 minutes, why would they want to go back to having bags? They want to walk around and look sexy for the rest of their life now. So that's the beauty of instantly ageless and having a product that really, really works. So in the words of my partner, Damon, this is a product that opens the door. It opens the door to the rest of the product line, and then you can take them to the store with the Luminous line, with the Reserve line, with the AM/PM line, with all the other different product lines. Now, how many of y'all in the room want to make some money? If you want to make a lot of money right now, stand up. I want to see who's live. Awesome, thank you. All right, let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the money. Let's talk about how we get paid. Didn't I tell you 60% of people want everything right now? Get past that product stuff, Cedrick. Let's talk about the money. All right. There's 7 different ways we get paid. This screen says 6, but I'm going to talk about 7. How many ways do we get paid? 7. How many ways? 7. Boy. First way is retail. Someone goes to your website and they buy the product from a retail perspective. In this particular example, they bought a bottle of serum for $134.95. Your cost is $83.95. You make the difference between the wholesale and retail. In this particular example, is $51. Someone buys a box of Instantly Ageless. Retail, this is $74.95. Wholesale, this is $44.95. So you would make $30 in commission, and you would have points that go into your binary tree. I'm going to explain to you what these points mean momentarily. It doesn't matter what product someone purchases, you're going to make the difference between wholesale and retail. Your customers do not see the wholesale pricing of your product, just like you don't see the wholesale pricing when you go to your local Walmart. Secondly, the second way we get paid is what I like to call retail on steroids. Here's why I call it retail on steroids. There are 50 sachets in each box. How many? 50. How many? 50. We currently have distributors right now that are selling sachets from $5 to $10 per sachet. Making anywhere from $250 to $500 per box. And how much did it cost you? $44.95. I've got people making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month without even recruiting anybody. That just warms my heart. Because everybody can't recruit. Everybody isn't a big, gigantic recruiter. But everybody knows somebody who has a face. Now some of y'all are saying, well, Cedrick, Well, Cedrick, will people really pay $5 for that? You know people right now that at 8 o'clock in the morning stand in line at Starbucks to pay $5 for a cup of coffee and they didn't get rid of their bags. And they got it so it could help them wake them up now, didn't it? They got a little perk. Caffeine going in their body, but they still got them bags. So why they in line at Starbucks now? You go around there, I'm gonna pass them or something, so I'm gonna get your caffeine, don't come with the bags right there. So, $250 to $500 per box of product. Second way we get paid is with our Get To and It's Paid For You program. Please don't ask me why these things always have to rhyme. You go out and get 2 preferred customers. All a preferred customer is simply someone who's on auto ship. They receive a discount for getting on auto ship. For every 2 preferred customers, you're going to get a bottle of free serum and a $50 bonus. You get another 2, a bottle of free serum, $50 bonus. You get another 2, bottle of free serum, and a $50 bonus. And that goes for every 2 that you get. How many of y'all know at least 2 people who have a face in the room say me? Me. Don't get free product for you. Next way we get paid is with our sign-up process. There's 5 different ways to become a distributor, and I'm going to explain to you the 5 different levels to become a distributor in conjunction with the Fast Start bonuses attached to each and every one of them. So the very first level would be our basic package. At this level is the $199 level. You're going to receive that amount of product up front. You're going to have 100 points go into your binary tree, and it's going to pay out a $25 Fast Start bonus. Then we have the Supreme package that is $499. You're going to have 300 points go into your binary tree, and it's going to pay out a $100 Fast Start bonus to your sponsor. Then we have the Jumbo package, which is $799. That's going to put 400 points into your binary tree and pay out a $200 Fast Start bonus. Then we have my favorite, which is the 1-year Jumbo package. At that level, you have prepaid your business for the entire year. Now you are not required to have an auto ship. Saves you about $400 over the course of 12 months. You get all of your product up front. You're going to have 400 points initially going to the tree, but over the course of 12 months, you're going to have a total of 1,060 points go into your binary tree. And it's going to pay out a $200 Fast Start bonus. Then we have our number 1 level, which is our most popular level, which is the Ambassador package. That level is $10.99. You're going to get that amount of product up front. 500 points goes into the tree. It pays out a $250 Fast Start bonus. But one of the reasons why it's our most popular level is because it grandfathers you for 180 days at a higher position inside of the compensation plan. Now, let's get into the binary. My favorite. How many of y'all have been in network marketing before? Okay, awesome. I got a room full of veterans. Fantabulous. Okay, if you've been in network marketing before, if you were in a unit level, your leaders in the unit level are going to tell you that a binary sucks. If you're in a binary, you might tell somebody that's in a unit level sucks. I'm here to tell you that there's 100 pennies in every dollar. 100 pennies in every dollar. No matter how you slice the dollar, there's 100 pennies in the dollar. A company is typically going to pay out 50 pennies out of the dollar. If you think they're going to pay out 85 pennies out of the dollar, you're fooling yourself. If you think they're going to pay 80 pennies out of the dollar, you're fooling yourself. There has to be overhead, right? There's employees, right? So typically there's going to be 50 pennies that are going to be paid out of the dollar. I've made money in every single comp plan known to man. They all are the same. You can make money no matter what comp plan it is. What you have to do is be educated on how to build it.
That's right.
That's the key. That's the key. So let's talk about that for a second. Inside of the binary, when you have 300 points on one side of business and 600 points on the other side of business, this triggers a $35 cycle bonus. Now, some people call this a strong leg and a weak leg. Some people call it a left leg and a right leg. I like to call it a checking account and a savings account. Now, remember earlier, every product package has a Every product has a point value. So when you have 300 points in your checking account and 600 points in your savings account, or vice versa, $35 bonus. Every time that happens. Now you can cycle up to 750 times per week. How many of y'all would be cool with an extra $26,250 a week? The only reason why all of your hands aren't raised is because you don't believe. So let me help you out. Let me help you out a little bit. So you see, every now and then we don't wake up in the morning and eat a big gigantic bowl of optimism with our Frosted Flakes. We might be around pessimistic people, pessimistic neighbors, people who just don't believe. I was in a restaurant not too long ago. One of my reps was talking to another guy, and she was talking about how people are making 6 figures a month, and he was like, "Well, that's impossible. It's impossible to make 6 figures a month. It's impossible." I said, "So if I were to prove it to you, what would you say then?" "It's just impossible. It's impossible." I said, "So there are no millionaires in this world then? Because to be a millionaire, you need to make 6 figures a month, or close to it. So you just don't believe it's possible. So in case you don't believe it's possible, fail this by 90%. Now I want to put that into perspective. Let me give you some analogies here. If you leave this room right now and you go run 9 red lights, there's a good chance you're not going to make it at number 10. If you go to work tomorrow and you show up late for work 90% of the time, there's a good chance you're going to be looking for a new job. If you cheat on your wife or your husband, 90% of the time you're either going to be dead and or divorced. Fail this equation by 90%, only get 10% of it correct, and you're still making $2,625 a week. If you screw it up by 90%. Now, just in case your driver's license is up for renewal right now, if you fail your driver's test by 90%, you are not getting a license. Go ahead and fail this to still make $2,625 a week. How many of you would love to fail something and still get paid $2,625? Because if they would have told me that in high school, I would have graduated in the 9th grade. Because I wouldn't have made it. Glad they didn't tell my daughter that. All right, check match. Now this is my favorite portion of the comp plan. Everybody say check match.
Check match.
Everybody say ooh. Ooh. Here's the big money.
Yes.
Here's the big money. We have a 75% check match. 75%. Now, when you enroll today at the $10.99 level or the $17.99 level, we're going to grandfather you here at the level called Sapphire. Meaning that on level number 1, you're going to start off with a 20% check match on day number 1. Level number 2 is 15%. And level number 3 is 10%. Now, if you go out and get 10 customers in a month, how many of y'all know at least 10 people with a face? Say me.
Me.
You go out and get 10 customers in a month, your check match goes from 20% to 30%. Now let me show you what that looks like in simple numbers. Let's say I go out and I sponsor Brenda, and Brenda goes out and makes $10,000 in a month. I would make up to 30% of that, or $3,000 a month in a check match. Brenda goes out and sponsors Dennis. Dennis makes $10,000 in a month. I would make 15% of that, or $1,500 a month in a check match. Dennis goes out and sponsors Sandra. Sandra makes $10,000 a month. I would make 10% of that, or $1,000 a month in a check match. Now, you might not even know Sandra, but don't you love you some Sandra? Oh, you sitting at her chocolates and Hallmark cards, checking on Sandra all the time. You all right, girl? You need anything? And stuff at home. Okay. 5% on level number 4, 5% on level number 5, 5% on level number 6, and 5% on level number 7 for a whopping 75% check match. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you right now, this is where the big money is. Because see, some of y'all did the math. Some of y'all did the math and you said, well, hold on, Cedrick, $26,000 a week, that's $105,000 a month. Cedrick, I can't pay my bills on $105,000 a month. That's just not enough money, said. And Boomy and Daryl told me that there were 67 people making between $1 million and $8 million a year. Well, if there's 67 people making between $1 million and $8 million a year, well, that ain't nothing but a little over $1 million. Where's the rest of the money at?
Match.
If this don't get you excited, your wood is wet. This is the only thing that has me running on 0 sleep right now. This is the only thing that I said, screw it, ain't no need to go to bed. We got 3-hour drive to the airport. Let's just take it. Let's do it. Let's recruit the person that's sitting to us in first class. And then I ain't got to go to sleep. Done. Done. Recruiting. Okay? Check match. Check match. Because now it doesn't matter if it's your left leg, your right leg, your orthopedic leg, your leg with no kneecap, call it whatever you want. You're getting a piece of the check. You see, before Maryland, you see, I sponsored a young lady who sponsored a young man who sponsored Daryl and Boomy. I didn't know Daryl and Boomy in the beginning. I knew the young lady who sponsored the young man, Brian, who sponsored them. And because of Daryl and Boomy, I'm speaking to all of you. You follow me?
Right.
And that is, that's 10%. That's 10%. That adds up. Okay? We got to help Daryl and Boomy get to $26,250 a week.
That's right.
What's going on with my clicker? Yeah, I'm moving too fast around here. Oh, I'm going to screw something up here. All right, so let's get to the rest of this. Being that I'm messing up presentations here. All right. All right, so the other level that you want to hit inside of Jeunesse is the level called diamond. As a diamond inside of Jeunesse, I got to go through all this, really?
It's okay. We're seeing.
Don't want to wait 2 minutes.
As a diamond inside of Jeunesse, we take 3% of the company's commissionable volume. 3%, and we put it inside of a pool. Doesn't matter that it's not on your team. We take 3% of the company's entire volume and put it inside of a pool. All of the diamonds and above split this pool. There's 67 of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you what the exact number is. All I can tell you is it's an extra couple of $100,000 a year on top of your paycheck. Extra. I don't need no sleep. I don't need no sleep, Dennis. You sleep when you dead. When you sleep. I'm trying to tell you, dead. Now I want you to think about this. Companies at $80 million a month right now. We're in 115 plus different countries right now. So you're not overriding the US and Canada. You're overriding the entire what? World. You're standing in an elevator with somebody and they're talking a different language and you don't know what they're saying. And then you get a word Jeunesse and you're a diamond and you just smile. I don't know what y'all saying, but I know I'll get a piece of that conversation. I ain't got to do what you saying, but it sounded like money. Keep going. You all want to hit that coveted level of diamond, I tell you. And our team, Team Takeover, is the fastest team in the history of Jeunesse to hit diamond, that we actually accomplished that in 60 days. Wow. So we know how to build through ranks, but you will always hear me say the word team.
That's right.
Okay? Yeah, I might be that diamond, but I couldn't accomplish that without the team. This is not a compensation plan that you can recruit your way to the top of. Can't do it. You have to build leadership.
That's right.
You have to build leadership. So I'm more excited about the people that are winning.
That's right.
I'm more excited to be able to come here on a Sunday afternoon and have a room full of people. That's what it's really, truly all about. Now, we have all sorts of incentives going on. Like right now, next week? Yeah, next week. A bunch of people want a trip to Tahiti. So actually, I'm going to take my daughter as a graduation present, we're going to go to Tahiti for a whole week and all paid for by Jeunesse, which is cool. Next month, myself, Daryl, Boomy, a whole bunch of other leaders are going to be in Cozumel, Mexico, and this is all full-blown paid for by the company. And so there's going to be a lot of trips and incentives that you have access to at the same time, because making money is one thing, but living is something totally different at the same time. You know, it's kind of like, I know a lot of people make a lot of money, but they don't have anybody to spend it with. They just rich and bored. They have nothing to do. Call me, Cedrick, you want to come on my house and go on the boat? For what? You just bored. It's about anywhere. Okay? So you get to go out and have some fun at the same time. Now in closing, you know, I know there's a lot of guests in the room, and you know, a lot of you are sitting here saying, okay, I get it. You know, I've been on one of these things before. You might drag me here on a Sunday afternoon, some funny looking guy with a receding hairline and a gold teeth and an ugly shirt talking about some doggone skincare. What is he talking about? Looks like one of them pyramid thingies. I always tell everybody, first of all, if you got a problem with pyramids, do me a favor and stop spending them. Because on the back of your $1 bill, there's a pyramid. And the eyeball is at the top, not at the bottom. You have never heard of a pyramid blow down. No Hurricane Katrina, no Hiroshima, no tornado, no nothing has ever blown down a pyramid. The most sound structure on the planet. Secondly, some of you are like, yeah, but it's still a pyramid. And I always say, really? What do you mean, like a job? Cedrick, my job ain't a pyramid. Do you have a boss? Whoop. Does your boss have a boss? Whoop. Is there a general manager? Whoop. Is there a president? Whoop. Is there a CEO? Whoop. Where do you fall in the pyramid? Who comes to work when they feel like it? The boss. Who, if they come to work late, they're looking for a new job? Who takes off when they feel like it? The boss. Who has to put in 3 months advance notice to take 1 week off? Who pays you just enough so you don't quit, you do just enough so you don't get fired? Ladies and gentlemen, the best thing that you can do is follow the advice of Mr. J. Paul Getty, who was the first billionaire of our century. He said the best. He said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people than to have 100% of myself. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's 23,000 active distributors on our team. If everybody just put in 30 minutes today, I would actually technically get paid off of 11,000 plus hours. How many of y'all can work 11,000 hours in a day? Don't worry, I'll wait. Those paydays are going to her brain. Nobody can work 11,000 hours in a day, right? Because there's only 24 hours in a day and you got to sleep at some point, right? Okay? That's the power of leverage. Secondly, I don't want any of you to leave this room and go ask the opinion of someone who wasn't here about something that they didn't see. And from someone who has less money than you. You know, we as human beings, we forever want to validate something. So we go and ask people about things that they don't even know about, taking their opinion. So I'm going to end this with a little story, and I'm going to end it with this story. I think I may will appreciate this story. I'm going to end it with this story only because I don't want any of you to leave this room and make a mistake that I made in 2003. The story kind of goes a little like this. I was in the mortgage industry making 6 figures a month for 22 months in a row. It was a great time of my life. I was 27 years young, and I thought the sky was going to part. My mother told me, son, if you ever make a lot of money, be a squirrel. Be a squirrel. So that's what I did. I didn't go out and buy every toy that all my friends went and got. I did in the beginning. Then I realized my mama told me to be a squirrel. And there's a little company that did an initial public offering. Maybe you heard of them. They're called Google. When Google did its IPO in 2003, it was underwritten by Morgan Stanley. At the time, my financial advisor was a gentleman by the name of Dave Nicholson at Morgan Stanley. I picked up the phone and I called up Dave and I said, hey Dave, I need you to put $500,000 on Google. He said, you're nuts. I said, tell me something that I don't know. I knew that this morning when I woke up. You can call me crazy, but you won't call me broke. Crazy is a compliment. I need you to put $500,000 on Google, please. He said, Cedrick, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And I said, why not? I was around when everybody lost their money in the last dot-com bust. Man, you wouldn't believe how people's lives changed. Their 401k plan turned into 23Ks. They lost their savings. People were losing houses. My phone was ringing off the hook. Said when your account is down 20 grand, you get upset. If you lose $500,000, we might have a problem. I said, Dave, put $500,000 on Google. It's my money, not margin money. If I lose it, I lose it. If it was margin money, I would have to pay it back. It's mine. If I lose it, I lose it. After 10 minutes, he convinced me not to do it. I listened. 2 weeks later, Google was doubled. 2 weeks. Google didn't do what Facebook did when it IPO'd. Google didn't do what Twitter did when it IPO'd. Google doubled in 2 weeks. I picked up the phone and I called up Dave. Now, this is a rated G presentation, so I won't give you the exact words. But they kind of went a little bit of like, what do you think now, Dave? Said, I know how you feel, man. I know you're a little upset. You know how I feel. I said, Dave, have you ever lost $500,000 in 2 weeks? Well, no. You don't really know how I feel. I was only calling you for one reason. He was like, why? You're fired. But said we made money in the past. Yeah, we have. But the one thing that I was going to do, you see, we made money in the past with your suggestions. My one suggestion out of the 2 years that you and I have been together would have yielded us $500,000 in 2 weeks. Being with you for 2 years, I haven't made $500,000 with my investments. You're fired. You just changed my life, and I got a funny feeling that you just changed my kid's life. I need to move all my money from Morgan Stanley over to Raymond James. I just hired a new financial advisor. I can't listen to you anymore. I told this story to my old boss. His name is Bill Edwards. He's the richest man in Treasure Island, Florida. He's worth over $900 million. I had to run his mortgage company. I was with him for 5.5 years. And I had to be at his house every single day for 2.5 years straight when I moved to Florida. It's amazing what you can learn from people that are worth over $900 million when you're with them every single day, 5 days a week. That's a college experience that you can't get by listening to a professor. And I was at his house one morning and I told Bill the Google story. He started laughing. I don't know if y'all know this, but I ain't found the story very funny. CC, I looked at him, CC, and I said, what's so funny about that story? You know what he said, CC? He said, you know, y'all guys get a little bit of money. You decide to get a financial advisor. And the truth of the matter is, when you had no money, that's when you needed a financial advisor. They said, how much money does your financial advisor make? I said, a little over $400,000 a year. He said, that's awesome, that's good money. He said, but I pay you more than that every quarter. Why are you taking financial advice from someone who makes less money than you? That was the last day that I ever, for any of y'all from Atlanta, ever took financial advice from anyone who made less money than me. Because I don't know if you noticed or not, but Google went from a $62 IPO to well over $1,100 for one share before it split. So all my mathematicians that are in the room that are doing the math really quickly, you probably have figured out that I'm not supposed to be in front of you right now. Technically, I should be in Cancun, Mexico, skinny dipping, in clear blue water with a banana behind my ear doing something I got no business. Excuse the vision. But I would not be in Maryland. I love you all. But I would have been up $23 million. Why would I be talking about some skincare? I woke up like this. So I say all that to say this. Don't leave this room and ask the opinion of someone who wasn't here about something that they didn't see. Oh, I've been in one of those things before. Reminds me of one of those things that rhymes with Ramway. Those things don't work. I tried one of those things 10 years ago. I love it when people tell me network marketing doesn't work. They compared to one experience that they had in life. You know, my first girlfriend, her name was Tara. God, I had so much game in the second grade. I wrote her a letter. Tara, would you be my girlfriend? Yes or no? I had so much game, Curtis, I gave the letter to my boy so he could give it to her. She checked the box off. Yes. My very first kiss on the playground, on the swing set. I still remember it. 30 plus years later, if I were to see Tara today, I wouldn't know what she looks like. And even though she broke my heart in the 2nd grade, that one bad apple didn't spoil the whole bunch. That was one experience that I had. So because something didn't work with Ramway, Tamway, Elalucal, Telelucal, ACN, BCN, DCN, ABC, 8 links, 17 links, 82 links, it doesn't matter what company worked or what company didn't work. Here's the reality of it. If you focus and put your mind to anything, you can make anything work. But you've got to focus and put your mind to it. It's not going to work if you are a water bug. It's not going to work if you give it a week and think, oh, it ain't work just now. Ooh. How many of y'all ever been in the Boy Scouts before? In the Boy Scouts, they teach you something. They take you out in the woods and they teach you how to set stuff on fire. And you take a magnifying glass and you let the doggone sun hit the magnifying glass. And you hold still. You hold still. And when the sun hits the magnifying glass and you hold it there for 5 minutes under some dry leaves, what happens? Start to fire, start to spurt, right? Well, what happens if you're shaking that magnifying glass like a quadriplegic? You just shaking and shaking and shaking. You ain't gonna never set nothing on fire.
Right.
So people get in network marketing and they just shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking. And they wondering why ain't nothing set on fire. Okay? You got to focus. You got to be so focused that you can make a freaking laser blush. And then all of a sudden people will say, I don't know where that person is going, but I don't care. I'm going with them. And they will follow. But as soon as you move around like a water bug, they are scared out of their minds. Scared out of their minds. So here's what we're going to do. Boomy, Daryl, I need your help. You got some stuff, you got some goodies in your hands, right? You got some applications back there. For all my guests in the room, I want you to raise your hand. For all my guests, keep your hands raised. I'm sorry, bro, I keep kicking you. Do we have enough?
No.
Yes.
We'll make do. There's some reps in the room. Where do I know you from, dog? I know you. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I know you.
How you been?
Everybody knows you. You got that face. I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you. All right, all my guests, keep your hands raised, please. Don't be afraid of this application. It's not going to bite you. Wow, who read our application back there?
I have some.
You got some? Awesome. Sweet. Oh, you got more. Hands. There you go, Nicole. Thank you, darling.